We continue now at the top of Daf Lamed Aleph Amud Beis in Meseches Shabbos. This is Shabbos Daf 31b. The Gemara here is discussing a person who has wisdom, but he does not have Yiras Shamayim. He doesn't have fear of heaven. Doma legizbor shematzar lo maftechos hapnimios. We can compare such a person to a gizbor who he has the inner keys. Umaftechos hachitzonos lo matzar lo. But they didn't give this person the outer keys, so he can't get inside anyway. So even if a person has all of this wisdom, if it's locked up inside and he can't even get into the outer gate, so he really can't get anything. Bahai Ayel, how is he going to get in? Machriz Rabbi Yanai. Rabbi Yanai announced, Chavol al delesle darta v'tara le darta of it. This is going the same idea. It says, woe is to the person who doesn't have a place to live, but he makes a gate for his living quarters. Again, it's like a person, he has all of this knowledge, but he doesn't have the main thing. He doesn't have Yiras Shamayim. Amar Rav Yehuda says, Labara HaKadosh Baruch Hu es olama ela kedei sheyiru milefanav. HaKadosh Baruch Hu only created the world in order that people should fear him. Shenemar, like it says, V'elokim asa sheyiru milefanav. God made it that they should fear him. Rabbi Simon and Rabbi Elazar have a yasvi. Rabbi Simon and Rabbi Elazar were sitting down. Cholif v'azol Rabbi Yaakov bar Acha, and passed in front of them was Rabbi Yaakov bar Acha. Amar le said to him, Amar lechad lechavri. So one said to his friend, Neku mekami, we should get up from in front of Rabbi Yaakov bar Acha. Tekvar dochel chitenu, because he's somebody who fears sin. Amar le'idach, so the other one said, Neku mekame, we should get up for him. The gvar bar urianu, because he's somebody who is a learned person. He's a person who can paskin. Amar le, the other person said back, Amina loch ana the gvar dochel chitenu. I say to you that he's somebody who fears sin. V'amrid liat bar urianu, and you're going to tell me that he's a learned person. In other words, what you're saying is so much less valuable than what I stated. The Gemara now says, Tistayim, let us conclude, Rabbi Elazar hu da'amar tegvar dachel chitenu, that it was Rabbi Elazar who valued the fear of sin. Da'amar Rabbi Yochanan mishum Rabbi Elazar, because Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Elazar, Ein lo la'kadosh baruch hu ba'olamo ala yiras shamayim bilvad. The only thing that a Kadosh Baruch Hu has in this world, in his world, is yiras shamayim. Shenemar, like it says, V'atoy Yisrael, now Yisrael ma Hashem alkecha shalom meimach. What does God ask of you? Kiyim liyira v'gomer, only that you should fear him. And it also says, Vayomer la'adam hein yiras Hashem hi chachma. It says yiras Hashem is chachma v'gomer, etc. Shekein b'lashon yevani korin la'achas hein. In Greek, the word for one is hein, singular, as if to say yiras Shamayim is the one thing. It is the singular thing. Tistayim, and the Gemara says you should conclude that it was indeed Rabbi Elazar who was pointing out the yiras Shamayim of Rav Yaakov bar Acha. The Gemara now continues at the two dots. Dorash Rav Ula Darshan. My Dechsiv, what does the pasuk mean when it says Al Tirsha Harbe V'Gomer? It says, don't be too wicked, or don't be very wicked. So the Gemara says, Harbe Hu Delo Lirsha Hamad. Lirsha, a person shouldn't be very wicked, he should be a little bit wicked. What does the pasuk mean? Elo Misha Achal Shum V'Recho Nodef Yachzer V'Yochal Shum Acher V'Yerecho Nodef. What the pasuk means is, let's say a person eats a little garlic and it smells on his breath. Is he going to eat more garlic and make his breath smell more? The idea basically is, a person does a little bit of sin, he might say, oh, I already sinned already, I might as well continue to sin. So the pasuk says, don't continue to sin, even if you've sinned a little. Don't use that as an excuse to continue. Darish Rava bar Ravula Darshan Ma'idach Siv. What does the pasuk mean when it says Kien Chartsuvos Lamosam Ubari Ulam? The idea here is that the pasuk says that the Rishoyim in Chartsuvos Lamosam, they have no pangs about their death. They're not worried about dying. And Bari Ulam means that they're sound in health. Their bodies are healthy. They're all fine. So what does that pasuk mean about the Rishoyim? Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Lo dayin l'Rishoyim she'enan charedin v'atzevin miyom hamisa. It's not enough that the wicked people are not afraid and they're not trembling from the day of death. Ela shalibam bari lahen ka'ulam. Their hearts are open like the ulam, like the entryway to the Beis HaMikdash. They're totally happy. V'hainu dama Rab, and that's what Rabba says. My dechsiv zed darkam kesalama. What does the pasuk mean when it says their ways are foolish? It means Yod and Rishoyim shedarkam leisa. The Rishoyim know that they're going to die. V'yeshlam chaylev al ksalam, but they have like fat covering their kidneys. They can't make the proper choices. Shematomar shichra himehen. Maybe you'll say because they've forgotten, they don't think about the day of death. Talmud lomar v'achareim b'fiyam yirtzu. It says that their ends are constantly on their mouths. They do speak about it, but they're not worried about it. It doesn't pain them, and they don't take it into consideration. Gemara continues at the two dots kechas al aner v'chulu. So it says in the Mishnah that according to Rabbi Yossi, the one case where a person is chayiv is if he if he extinguishes a fire because he wants to save or preserve the wick. So the Gemara wants to try to understand what's Rabbi Yossi's view. So Rabbi Yossi commands svirale. Who does Rabbi Yossi hold like? Ikar Rabbi Yehuda. If he holds like Rabbi Yehuda that a malacha shein tzricha leguf is chayiv. In other words, it doesn't matter what your goal is when you put out when you extinguish the flame. it's a malacha she'ein tzarich legufa. Even if you have something else in mind, ultimately you're still chayiv. So Ikra Reb Yehuda Svirla, if he holds like Reb Yehuda, afilu b'hanach nami l'chayiv. In all the cases in the Mishnah, you should be chayiv. V'ikra Rabbi Shimon Svirla, and if he holds like Rabbi Shimon, the malacha she'ein tzarich legufa is potter, psila nami liftar. So when you do it for the wick, so you're just doing it to preserve the wick, so that should also be potter. So the Gemara says, Amar Ula. Ula says, actually before we see the answer, let's take a look at Rashi just who explains the question. This is important. Rashi says, afilu b'psila nami li potter. According to Rabbi Shimon, you should even be potter if you're doing it for the wick. Dechas al psila nami eino tzricha hamalacha legufa. So even according to Rabbi Shimon, you're potter, or according to Rabbi Shimon, you're potter, because when you are doing it to preserve the wick, that is not a malacha tzricha legufa. Why? The malacha hainu kiboy, because the malacha is actually the extinguishing the flame. The kiboy atzmo eino tzarachlo. He doesn't need the extinguishing of the flame. This is the key. The idea is he would be happier if it was never lit in the first place. Im mitchila huvava. Assuming that it had at one point in time in history that this wick had been lit at one point in time, so it's prepared for lighting. And since right now he's preserving this wick, he wants to put it out. That shows that he would have preferred not to have it lit in the first place. He would have preferred that it would have been larger. So the Gemara now says. The Gemara answers, Amar Ula. Ula says, Liolon Rabbi Yehuda Svirle. Really, Rabbi Yossi holds like Rabbi Yehuda, meaning Malacha Shein Tzreicha Legufa is chayiv. So then the question is, why are you potter in all the other cases? Because Rabbi Yossi holds, Soser al Manas Livnos b'Mekomo Havisoser. If a person destroys on the condition to build in the same place, that is considered a malach of Soser. Al Manas Livnos Shelo b'Mekomo, but if a person destroys on the condition to build not in the same place, Lo Havisoser, that is not considered Soser. Again, we're going to need Rashi to explain this. Rashi explains as follows. Liolam Rabbi Yehuda Svirle de Mishum Ein Tzrich Legufa Lo Miftar. He holds like Rabbi Yehuda that Malacha Shein Tzrich Legufa you are chayiv. Hoel Tzrich Ledavar Acher, since you are extinguishing it for some other purpose, Malachas Machshevasi, that's considered an intentional malacha. So Rashi says, V'chi Machava Lo Mishum Chaysa de Shemen V'ner. In the cases where he's extinguishing it because he's concerned about the amount of oil or the candle itself, as opposed to being concerned about the wick. Hainu taima de potter. The reason why you're potter is kasavar de soser almanas livnos b'mekomo have soser, because he holds the only time soser is chayiv is if it's almanas livnos b'mekomo. And Rashi elaborates. Kol mekalkel de Shabbos. Anytime you do a malacha on Shabbos, which is ruining something, which is destroying, have a potter. In general, that's considered potter. The lav hainu malachas machshavos, because that's not a malacha that's done with real intention. The soser detanan ba'avos malachas. So what about soser, which is destroying? That's one of the avos malachas. So the mechayev, where it says you're chayev, soser almanas livnosu. That only applies when you're destroying with the intention of rebuilding. Ve'eno yachal livnos elim kain sosro, and it has to be talking about a scenario where you cannot build unless you destroy first. V'hashda lav kilkulu. In such a situation, it's not considered kilkul. Rabbi Yossi savar, and Rabbi Yossi adds to this idea, and he says, the imbe mekomo choser ubonahu, that if he's building in the same place, only in that case the mechayev astira. Only in that case you're chayev on stira. V'ilo lo, and if not, then you're not chayev. Umechabe dumya desoserhu. So now Rashi explains that mechabe, extinguishing a fire, is the same thing as soser. It's similar to soser. V'chein korea, also tearing dumya desoser. That's also similar to soser. Ulachi tanan hakorea manas lifter. That's why the Mishnah says you tear on the condition to sow. V'chein mochik, you erase. Tanan al manas lichtov, you only chayev if you erase on the condition to write. To kulam soser ninu. All of those are examples of soser. Hilkach, therefore, al hapsila chaysa didei eina ela lahadlik. In the case of the wick, where you're having a compassion on the wick, you want to save the wick. That is why are you doing that? That's because you want to light in the future. Hilkach mechabel menas lahadlik. Therefore, essentially, what are you doing? You're extinguishing the flame in order to light at some time in the future. Hainu b'mekomo. That is soser almanas livnos b'mekomo. So even though it's a malacha shein tzrich legufa, you're chayav from malacha shein tzrich legufa, and it's not a problem because it's soser, because it's almanas livnos b'mekomo. Aval ki chas al anero al hashemen or al hashemen ve'al apsila enochas. But if the person is concerned about the ner and the oil, but he's not concerned about the wick, ve'eno choshesh im mashlicha, and he doesn't care if he throws it out. Afilu tzarech l'shemen lahadlik b'psila acheres lachar zman. Even if he wants the oil to light a different wick for later on, b'soch ner zen, this very same candle, ein zeh soser manas livnos b'makomo. That's not considered soser on condition to build in the same place. She'ein hakiboy v'hahavara lo b'shemen v'lo b'ner, because the extinguishing and the lighting doesn't take place physically in the same in the exact same location as the oil and the candle. Ela b'psila, where does it take place? It's on the wick. Hilkach lo shaycha stira ubinyan ella b'psila. You can only talk about stira and binyan by the wick. V'kevan dein machsheves sofo lachzor lahadlik psila zu. Since he's not intending to light this very same wick, ein kan od binyan b'makom stira. You don't have binyan b'makom stira. Udikatani shu osa pechem. What does he mean to say when he says you're making a pechem? You're making it like easier to light. Kilomar mneshem osin pechem mitchilasa va'omedes lachzor lahachiz boer. It means that you did this originally. It was that you already made it a pechem. You already singed this wick earlier before Shabbos, and now you're putting it out in order to relight it later. V'ika binyan v'makom stira. And you are building in the place of stira. So essentially, the Gemara is saying Rabbi Yossi holds like Rabbi Yehuda that malacha sheina tzricha leguf is chayiv. And he does, even though he holds like Rabbi Yehuda, you're not chayiv in all these cases. You're only chayiv where you're chas ala psila, because only in that case it's considered sosra manas livnos b'mekoma. So now Rabba challenges this answer of Ula. Amar le Rabba. Rabba says, Mechli, let us see. Kol melachas yalfinan lehumi mishkan. All melachas of Shabbos are learned out from the Mishkan. V'hasam sosra manas livnos shelo b'mekomo. And in the Mishkan, why did they destroy the Mishkan? They were traveling. They would be traveling in the Midbar. So they were not intending to build it in the same place. It was sosra manas livnos shelo b'mekomo. So why would anyone think that it needs to be sosra manas livnos b'mekomo? Amar le said, Shani Hasam, it's different over there. Since it says that they camped by the word of God, that's considered mekomo. If God says to camp in this particular place, that's considered livnus b'mekomo. So that's an exceptional situation. This is the first approach. This is Ula's approach to understanding Rabbi Yossi. Now Rabbi Yochanan gives another approach. For Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yochanan says, Liolam Rabbi Shimon Svirale. Really, he holds like Rabbi Shimon. Really, Rabbi Yossi holds malacha shein tzricha leguf is pater. Umay shna psila. So then why are you chay by a psila? Kid Amar Rav Hamnuna v'itema Rav Ada bar Ava. It's like Rav Hamnuna says, and some people say Rav Ada bar Ava says, Hacha b'psila shetzarech lahav v'askinan. Here we're talking about a wick that was never singed before. This is the first time it was really being lit. So really, when you're extinguishing this candle for the sake of the psila, it is in order to have a singed wick, which is completely tzricha legufa, like Rashi said before. Devahi, in that case, afil Rabbi Shimon Modi to come masakin money. Even Rabbi Shimon admits that it's chayiv because you're being masakin money. You're fixing up this kli, this wick. Amar Rava says, Dekanam, I bring a proof that this is an accurate answer. The katani shu osa pechem. He's creating the pechem. V'lo katani v'nesha nas is pechem. Not that it was already before and now it's being recreated as a pechem. Shema mina, you see that is in fact what's happening over here. The mission is clear that Rabbi Yossi says in this one particular case, it's considered malacha tzricha legufa. Let's just see Rashi in this osa pechem. Rashi says shu osa pechem shu miskaven mamish lasos kamin pechem achshav. He wants to make it like a pechem. It's as if you're making coals. He wants to singe it right now. Alma bekiboy hatzarach legufa mayri. You see, it's kiboy tzarach legufa. V'lo katani shenasis pechem mitchiloso shehuva. Not that it was previously singed. The nimtze lemeimar time mishum debas binyani. Then we'd be talking about the fact that you're rebuilding it. So that's a proof that this is really the accurate pshat in Rabbi Yossi's opinion in the Mishnah. Gemara now brings the next Mishnah. Al shalosh averos nasha mesus b'shas leidasan. There are 3 averos which women do, and it causes as a punishment they die at the times of them giving birth. Al she'enan zahiros, that they're not careful in the following 3 things: benida, the halachas of nida; bechala, the halachas of chala; uvadlakas haner, and the lighting of the candle. The Gemara says nida my time. What's the reason why nida is so strict? Amar Rav Yitzchak says he kilkala bechadrei bitna. She is ruining that which is taking place in her womb. Lafikach tilka bechadrei bitna. Therefore she will be hit bechadrei bitna, meaning when she's given birth, that's when she's going to be punished. Teinach nida, that's good by nida. Chala v'adlakas haner ma'ikal ameimar. What are you going to say when it comes to chala and the lighting of the Shabbos candles? K'dedarash hogli la aled Rav Chisda. So it's like a certain Galilean darshan in front of Rav Chisda. Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, that God says, Revias dam nasati b'chem. I gave you a revias of blood in your bodies. Al iske dam hizarti eschem. Therefore I warn you about issues of dam. That's a reference to nida. The Gemara will continue with the other references on Daf Lamed Beis Amud Aleph, and we'll see that in the next video.